You guys are bringing in 30,000 athletes in 2 weeks to Mesa, Arizona.
We are.
I saw the opportunity to have impact in the sport. The biggest place that I could have impact for soccer in this country is at the league office.
Hey y'all, welcome back to City Limitless, where we explore Mesa and beyond its city boundaries. I'm your host, Ashley, and I'm super excited. We're out here again at Arizona Athletic Grounds, chatting with President Meg Stevens. And later, we'll be speaking with Luis Robles, former MLS player and now MLS NEXT Technical Director. Welcome. Meg Stevens, welcome back. I'm so excited. You're my first returning guest on City Limitless, and it's kind of a special episode.
Honored. Very, very honored.
But I'm excited to help you announce you just won from the Arizona Lodging and Tourism Office Tourism Manager of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
it. That's a big deal.
No,
it really is.
I was shocked. I did not expect that. People did a good job of hiding that, which was impressive. But, you know, I think really good leaders hire really good people, and you surround yourself with really good people. So yes, an award that has my name on it is wonderful and obviously very honored, but that is the team. That is a team effort. That shows you what Arizona Athletic Grounds and the team here has done over the last year and a half. So just really tremendous, and I want them to be able to celebrate.
Congratulations to everybody then, because that is a huge honor. And it's really fun because we're out here right now during MLS Next, which is a huge soccer event. And when I say huge, I'm texting my team. They're like, hey, we're 15 minutes away. I'm like, great, I'm 3 minutes away. The traffic, people, and I don't mean to hit on the traffic in a bad way, but the people. You guys are bringing in 30,000 athletes in 2 weeks to Mesa, Arizona.
We are.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Tell me more about this.
It's well, this is where you get kind of like game day, Meg. So right last time I was like, suit
buttoned up.
Today is we were here at 5 or 6 a.m. and we're in full. It's truly game day here, and it's awesome. And I think what's really fun. So I want to really talk about MLS and what that does. But MLS is the largest soccer tournament in the country.
And I just want to pause on that.
I think the more people I talk to in Mesa and on the east side and then just in Phoenix to understand what that means for our region, yes, for AAG, but for our region and for what that does. And so I know I'll probably have some email complaints from parking and I just keep reminding folks, this is putting Mesa. People are having a wonderful experience right now, and they're here from all over the country. These are some of the best young men, soccer players. These are our upcoming rising stars. This is the best of the best. So there's college coaches here recruiting. There's also MLS teams here recruiting.
Wow.
These are people who are probably going to go pro.
Wow.
So you've got a wonderful mix. And then much to my staff's dismay, we said, well, we just can't run the biggest soccer tournament in the country. Mm-hmm. We're going to keep doing everything we would have typically done. So we also have numerous other events happening on site. Yeah. And so we are full.
I was walking through the crowd and I'm trying to take note. I'm seeing little dancers.
Yep.
I'm seeing baseball. I'm
Correct.
seeing volleyball.
Yep.
I'm seeing basketball.
Yes.
And then you have MLS everywhere sprinkled in between.
And I've got one to add.
What?
Jiu-jitsu is in C right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't see that, but that is insane. But do you know what the really cool thing is? The cohesiveness of every single athlete, player, parent, coach, ref, sports trainer, you name it. They're just all here as one under sports. You know what I mean?
I haven't had time to really kind of settle into that. And today really is the day to really see the complex at its full, when it's fully activated. I don't think we've ever seen anything like today.
I don't think we have either.
We are saying this is probably the largest number of people on site. And that will happen today, both with jiu-jitsu, and I forgot we also have pickleball tournament on site today.
You're not stopping.
So we are activating almost everything is basically activated. And you're right. It's what it was designed. It's finally doing what it was designed to do.
AAG is up and running in the fullest of capacities.
Full in full, right? And then to see people at the restaurant and in food and beverage and in the arcade and all sorts of, right? That is, now we always talked about making it a destination. And even last time it was just about taking those steps.
Yeah.
Today you almost start to feel like, that's that's where we're at right now.
I can feel the energy. Like
Yeah,
my
lot of
inner
fun.
athlete from my younger days, I'm like, oh, this is so exciting.
It's great.
But you mentioned something about the arcade, which I want to bring back to. We last spoke in March.
I did.
And so much has happened. Give us a rundown of that.
I don't even know if I can list it all, and I'm sure there's something that was in process at that point. I think the biggest wins, one is the arcade, right? We've talked about being a destination, and when there's always the brother or sister that gets dragged along to the tournament, or the parent that has to be here for 8 hours.
Yeah.
What do we do on the in between? Yeah. So we partnered with Pecan Lake.
Oh my gosh.
And so you partner with folks who do things really, really well. Mm-hmm. They have an incredible arcade right now, and they're actually trying to open 7 days a week.
Wow.
So we want to be the place that not only can you do this, and this is just a weekend thing, but this should help people in Mesa.
Sure.
This should help people in Queen Creek. Like,
Absolutely.
Hey, you've got another arcade to go to. You've got something else on top of the restaurant, on top of some of those other pieces. We've engaged with a new pizza. Our restaurant is now, we've kind of gone away from the pizza concept we had and really flipped that one over.
Yes.
We've had a wonderful kickstart now to gymnastics.
Oh my gosh.
So our cheer, dance, gymnastics hallway is now complete. Gymnastics has over 180 members.
Wow.
It's the cutest little thing you've ever seen. So like 4 or 5 o'clock every weekday.
If you think you're having a bad day when you got the little gymnasts running in.
Little tiny ones just running around doing it. So they have just been wonderful. So we found a wonderful partner there to work with. So we have just, again, it's been reactivating and reimagining spaces that just weren't open.
Yeah.
And we are down to only one space left that is not actively
Which is
utilized. The medical center.
Wow.
And so we have been really, I think we're still figuring out within the ecosystem what that looks like and who is the best partner. And then how does that work well? We are unique. Yeah. And so finding the right partner for what that looks like and then able to ebb and flow with our crazy times and crazy hours and what that looks like.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's on the table right now. And then we continue to become, we're more and more creative.
Yeah.
We're doing more things, I think, for our community, which is great. We had our holiday market.
Yes. Huge. Another hit.
Huge. So the Friday, Black Friday, and then Saturday, I think we had over 3,000 people here just on Friday.
Wow.
It doubled the numbers from last year.
Congratulations.
And that's what we want to be known as. I think I still talk to people and I'll run into them and Safeway, and they still think they need a kid to come, or they need and I'm like, no, we're hosting entertainment.
Yeah.
We did host our first kind of outside entertainment festival. We hosted tacos and tequila.
I know.
It was great.
Insane. Again, but though to the concept of you don't need a kid. We love our kids, but you don't need a kid.
Right. It's a sports and entertainment facility.
Yeah.
And so for us to be able to make sure that we're doing both and doing both well, then that's another success.
Amazing. It's really incredible to have been here back in March of 25 to now December of 25. This will be airing of January 26th. And just the evolution, and it truly shows if you dream it, it can happen. If you have the right people surrounding you, they will lift you up and carry those dreams as far as you will let them go without stopping them. But with that being said, I kind of want to bring it back to MLS Next being here, the importance of Mesa and the impact that that's really making on the community, because I know people are seeing the traffic, but let's talk about what that traffic is bringing for the city of Mesa.
I think thank you for opening the question, because you're right. When those folks just see parking or this is what it is, to understand what it is bringing to Mesa, this will be 1,400 soccer teams over 12 days.
Let that sink in.
So imagine all of those players bringing their families. They are sleeping in our hotels. Mm-hmm. They are eating in our restaurants. They are recreating here. They are doing things that it brought them not just to Phoenix, it brought them to Mesa.
Yeah.
And hopefully now it brings them back, not just for that one-time tournament, but we want to make sure it's that all-encompassing relationship for them to now enjoy our recreation. They have an off day during their tournament. Then we want them to make sure they stay in town and continue to support our local businesses.
Wow.
So it really does make a large economic impact.
Which we are so proud of. And tell me a little bit about the intricacies that it kind of took to get MLS here. I know Lance, our VP of sports, he this was a big deal for him. I want you to expand on that a little bit because we did work in partnership with you guys on this.
Absolutely. And that's where we can't thank Visit Mesa enough. I think it really does take good community partners. And I think that's one of the things that we looked and I knew was so important early on. This is about relationships. It's a business. Yes, it's a sports business, but it's really a relationship business. And so to understand, to pull in a tournament like this, it's never just a facility. It's a facility. It's a city. It is an investment. It's really understanding. It's working with our local police who are at every single entrance today.
And they've been phenomenal.
They have been great.
Big smiles on their faces.
I love to hear it. And because when that's what it takes to run large scale events.
Yes.
And that's what I think Phoenix has been known for. And yet we're going to host the Final Four and we're going to do all these great things.
Yeah.
Well, now Mesa's hosting.
We're showing up.
That in a big way.
Yes.
And so we can't thank, I think of Lance as basically a member of the team.
Part-time here, part-time Visit Mesa.
But right in those communications with MLS, that it wasn't just us that major tournaments want to partner with. They want to be here, but then, hey, what will the city, what does that relationship look like? So when you have that bridge, it puts us in a better position to bring in more and more better tournaments. That puts us in a great place.
I love that. Now, speak on the side of the players. What is the benefit of MLS being here for them?
So every player interaction, obviously I'm very hands-on. I've been talking to players the whole time they've been here. Right now, we are just receiving rave reviews.
I was going to say, any feedback that stuck out for you?
Very impressed. And actually, just a shout out, our grounds crew, our grass fields. And not a lot of folks get onto our grass fields. So we have 24 fields total. 20 of them are artificial turf and 4 of them are grass. I'll go on record. I think these are the 4 best grass fields in Arizona.
Wow.
And we are getting so many compliments on just the quality. What it takes to do that is impressive.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're still in the FIFA brochure.
Yes.
So we're still waiting to hear. But by the time this airs, we'll hopefully have an answer and kind of know what that looks like. But that's been great. But their overall experience, there's so much happening, right? There's things to do. There's places to eat. It's different than so many other places, right? These are the kids that have played all over the country in a lot of places. And we've just heard nothing but wonderful feedback from them.
I can only imagine Arizona Athletic Grounds really being a standout complex in every capacity. You know what I mean?
We really like to think so. And those are the questions I'm asking parents and players, and always looking to get better. What does that look like? Could we have done anything better? And we're going to always look to just next time, what can we do better? I'm sure it drives my staff crazy, but we will always do, what can we do better next time?
That's what leadership is. And I just wanted to touch on, because you mentioned this in our first interview. You're like, I will get out in the traffic and help guide traffic. And I just have to hype you up and give you your kudos where it truly is deserved. As my team and I are driving in today, I'm whipping out my phone and I'm like, there is Meg Stevens, president of Arizona Athletic Grounds, directing traffic. I'm currently in a Mesa leadership class, and if I had to think of a leader, that is what a leader is. I've heard and I've seen so many people say like, yeah, I'm going to get down in the dirt, and okay, yeah, great. No, I saw you down in the dirt, you're sweating. And I'm like, this woman, we're about to do a podcast in an hour and she's out here out in the sun. It's a nice 65-degree day, but it's still hot in the sun, guiding traffic. And I know that your team sees the hard work from the top all the way down that you do. And I just have to say, like, that is why you and your team are an award-winning staff here. And I couldn't appreciate that more than I am sitting here right now with you.
Well, no, I appreciate that, and I apologize. I hadn't saved you a spot. I think you parked.
I was like, hey, where's the VIP parking?
You got your steps in.
I'm in the dirt.
Yeah, you're in dirt lots we created for this event.
I'm going to bring my own VIP ticket next time and just kind of play that one off. And VIP, see where it gets me. So if you see a rogue girl and a forerunner, just
then we've got it.
Call it a day. Call it a day.
So it was, and no, I appreciate the nod, but I think it is. I think really good. It's not just leaders, but it's the same thing I ask of my staff. Stop thinking of yourself as just having a role. You're not a custodian. You're not a security guard. You're not a director. It's all of our job. We will all succeed or we will all fail.
Yes.
And right, for the last 2 hours, we got behind in parking. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's where I need to be.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just that you're going to help out your team, and that's not just me. We've got vice presidents out there now, and it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's the nice piece of, again, the little things make the big difference. The fact that I would hope every one of our staff members, if you see trash, pick it up.
Yep.
And
Easy, simple.
It makes a difference. It just makes a difference, right? There's another compliment we get. The place is spotless.
Yeah.
The food and beverage options have gone. I mean, we are at nth end for all those things. But again, they're wonderful amenities, and we want it to be a great guest experience.
Yes.
And if you think about it as guests, then that's what we are. We're tourism driven and a guest experience. And so we want those players, the parents, the grandparents, to have a really good experience when they're here.
And you're crushing it.
We're doing our best.
To the best degree. But I want to end on a fun, exciting note because we are in tourism and you are a lady that has traveled a lot. I need to know, what are some of your top travel items that you must have on every trip?
I don't know if I have top travel items. I have the classic kind of backpack that everybody has.
Sure.
That I'm surprised we all don't just trade.
Yeah.
But I'm still old school. I like my plug-in headphones.
Okay.
I have not adapted to to anything else.
Cordless.
Yeah. I'm still a little old. I feel a little old in that way. But as long as I've got that, I'm always working. I actually think plane time and travel time for me is a great time to work.
Wow.
So anytime I can actually get some time to be able to get some things done and sit and not get pulled in a different direction.
You're like, I can't go anywhere if I'm on a plane.
I'm here. So I have a great opportunity to be able to do that. If I can listen to a great podcast, if I can to read a great article, or truthfully, my list making continues, and I have a tendency to be a list maker, then
No shame.
Actually time for me to do that.
I love that. Well, Meg, if anybody doesn't already know where to find you, can you drop your website where people can find you guys at for any kind of information regarding family events, non-family events, sporting events?
Absolutely. So check out azgrounds.com. And we're happy to announce one of the other newest additions. We have our own app.
Woo!
So if you are here, please go to the App Store. It's AZ Grounds. That app, I think a lot of folks will really like that. We went all in. You can see your little dot and where you are. And
I needed that today.
And how to get to places. So I think that should, again, make that guest experience one step better.
Yes.
And it's also been nice for our sponsors and partners.
I love that. Congratulations. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you. And I'm very excited for our next guest to speak upon MLS Next. And we're definitely chatting soon because AAG is just continually growing. So you will be a third-time guest. I can already feel it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for the invite, and appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank you.
Welcome, Luis. How's it going?
Good. We're in day 3 of a 12-day event, so the days are long, but it's just really exciting to be here.
Yeah. Before we jump into MLS Next, I want to get a quick overview. Who are you, and how have you come to Arizona Athletic Grounds with MLS Next? Let's get started there.
Well, I'm born and raised in Sierra Vista, Arizona, so about 3.5, 4 hours south of here. And my dad moved there because of the military. He retired there, loved it. It's quite beautiful. It's a lot smaller. It's a lot bigger now than when I grew up. Met my wife there. We went to high school there. We now live in New Jersey with 3 kids. Yeah, so just to fast track it pretty quickly, Buena High School grad, ended up getting a soccer scholarship to the University of Portland. While I was playing club soccer in Tucson, which is about an hour and a half from Sierra Vista, one of my biggest influences, a guy named Wolfgang Weber, who really is the godfather of soccer in southeastern Arizona. He influenced me to go in that direction towards the University of Portland because another person who ended up being a huge soccer influence in my life was the coach there. His name is Bill Irwin. So I went from one incredible soccer mentor in Wolfgang Weber to then Bill Irwin at the University of Portland. And that was all geared towards knowing that I come from a small town. Even that subsection of Arizona doesn't necessarily produce an overwhelming amount of soccer players.
Yeah.
But it seemed as if there was some tailwind in my sail. And if there was ever going to be the best way to maximize potential, it would be to go through that university at the University of Portland. And it ended up being phenomenal from there. I made the move. I was drafted by DC United in 2007, but instead of signing with DC United, I ended up going to Germany. Again, Wolfgang Weber, who's from Germany, influenced me to go there, and I spent 6 seasons playing in Germany, 4 seasons with FC Kaiserslautern and 2 seasons with Karlsruhe Sport Club. Came back to the United States in 2012, played 8 seasons with the New York Red Bulls, left there in 2019. I really thought at that point in my life, because my kids were born in Jersey, my wife and I really feel like we've established roots in Jersey.
Sure.
That was towards the end of my career. But then in 2020, I got a phone call for David Beckham. He was starting a team that actually today won MLS Cup. But in 2020, he was starting a new organization called Inter Miami. I ended up being their first free agent signing, their first captain. We planned on being there for quite a long time, but that was also during the global pandemic.
Yeah.
So I ended up only playing one season at Inter Miami. There were a lot of things that transpired during that season. I think all the way up until that point, the natural transition was going to be becoming a general manager of a club. But because of everything that I experienced in my own personal development, I saw the opportunity to have impact in the sport. And the biggest impact the biggest place that I could have impact for soccer in this country is at the league office. But instead of, I knew I had a lot to learn since I'd been playing professionally for 15 years. Even though the aptitude might be there, the acumen wasn't. So I ended up catching a job with FIFA Hospitality. I retired in 2020, took the job in 2021, was a key part of building out their hospitality business for the World Cup in Qatar in 2022. And several MLS owners ended up being clients of mine, Major League Soccer, U.S. Soccer, big corporate brands. And so it was a really nice crash course to develop some of those soft skill sets that were missing because I'd been out of the corporate. I've actually never been in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And so that was really pivotal for me to develop into what I'd like to be a future exec one day. And when the World Cup was done in 2023, I moved back to New Jersey. We were living in Florida at the time. And the whole family moved back to New Jersey, started working at the league office, and my first landing spot, MLS Next. And so for the last almost better part of 3 years, I've been building the community that is MLS Next.
Now let's get into MLS Next, because you guys are out here in Mesa, Arizona. This is a huge deal for our city. You know, the impact that this is making on our economy, it's filling our hotels, it's bringing people all over the country to Mesa, maybe somewhere that's never been on a map for any kind of athlete. Tell me about what is going on here at Arizona Athletic Grounds.
So Mesa's been an incredible partner in all of this, but it goes back to an experience that took place 12 months ago. We were in Indio, California. We were having the same event, beautiful setting, very similar to what's happening here in Mesa. And as I was looking out over 19 fields and watching all the MLS teams, all the elite academies play, the families walking around, the national team scouts, the hundreds of college scouts, I just couldn't help but think to myself and share with my staff, we need to give this to more people. This experience is phenomenal. It's amazing, but we need to give this to more families, to more players. We need to increase exposure across the country because we want to create opportunities, not only for players, but our core objectives at MLS Next are twofold. The first is we want to develop the next generation of talent to impact the professional game. And that talent can be players, it can be coaches, it can be officials, technical directors, academy directors, community builders that is going to elevate soccer in this country. The second core objective is to grow the game. And so as I stood there in California, I thought we're going to need a massive facility.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to give this to more people, to me, it's incredibly important that we add value to their experience. Families are investing so much when it comes to their athlete. It's time, it's emotion, it's mental bandwidth, it's finances. And it's not enough to just say, hey, come and be a part of MLS Next. It's not enough to just say, come to this event. We want to be able to deliver value in the biggest way possible. And so for a lot of these families, as we look at this event that's taking place, MLS Next Fest at Arizona Athletic Grounds in Mesa, Arizona, it started about 7 months ago, this relationship. As I asked our group, this is what we want. We want a facility, a community that's big enough to take on the biggest event possible.
Yeah.
Because I want all of our players to get exposure. I want all of our families to feel as if their child had a chance to be seen. And they came up with, there's a place in Arizona. They have 24 fields. Let's go check it out. And when I came here, I thought this is exactly what I want because the setup is perfect. Everyone gets to walk through the pavilion. There's that aspirational piece as they see Major League Soccer logos, Adidas logos, MLS Next logos. And as they finally come up to where the fields are at, there's 2 rows of 10 fields, which is incredibly accessible for college scouts. And then there's the 4 additional fields in that 3rd row, which are grass fields, which allows us to put our top quality, highest, most impact games on that. And then the other piece is I invited a colleague of mine who works in a different department, but really runs tangential with what we're doing. And he's in player relations. His name's Aleko Eskandarian, also a former MLS player. And he runs the department that signs all of our players.
Wow.
So every single player that signs a professional contract at a young age goes through him. And he runs the college combine. And I said, why don't we complete this pathway and you host college combine on the site, on the same site as us. And that's exactly what's going to take place in a few days. On December 10th, college combine will be here at Arizona Athletic Grounds. So now you get the entire experience. If you're a family that's joining MLS Next for the first time and your child is 12 years old and they walk around and they see all these teams playing, they see all these college coaches. Yesterday we had 413 college coaches check in to scout these games. We went from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. I think I left this facility at 10:30. And this is why it's been such a great experience, is because not only has Mesa been such a great host, but Arizona Athletic Grounds has the capacity to do that. Because the way that I described it to our families is naturally there's going to be the highest level and there's a pecking order, but that doesn't necessarily mean that on that pecking order you can't get exposure. And so with this facility, what we've been able to create is an MLS Academy director could be watching their team. So let's use Vancouver Whitecaps playing against New York City FC. And when it's halftime, they're just going to look at the field next to them. And I want it to be that they know that these teams are part of the same community that's MLS Next. And they may not know who those 2 teams are. And they may not know who those players are. But as they're watching, they think, wow, that number 17 is really good. And they're watching 10 more minutes of that game. And they're interested. And they look into it and find, oh, this is the club. I learn more about the club. I learn more about the player. And now it doesn't matter where they're at, who they are, and what level they're at. They're getting exposed to the professional game. They're getting exposed to people who can dramatically change their life. And that's only one example because, as I mentioned yesterday, we had 413 college coaches. Those coaches are coming from all different levels. And there's always going to be that top tier. But what we want is to be able to serve every tier of the college pyramid with the players in our player pyramid. So it's been a great experience so far. I think the feedback has been exceptional. The feedback has been specific towards what we're building at MLS Next, but it's also been about the facility. And we knew in order to have an event that goes over 12 days, that hosts 30,000 players, that has 1,472 teams come through, that will have 1,853 games, we needed an impressive facility, and Arizona Athletic Grounds has been that.
I love to hear that. I know we are so excited to have you guys, but it's crazy to hear those numbers. Being born and raised in Mesa, I never thought that something like this would happen in a city that I grew up in, especially because when I grew up, this was all dirt land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like watching the evolution of all this. And
driving on I-10 north to Paradise Valley or to northern part of Phoenix to play games. I remember we'd play at Cave Creek, we'd play at Red Mountain, and this portion of land was just dirt. Just dirt. And it was pretty impressive to come here for the first time and see what it is that they're doing. And I'm very pleased with not only the experience, but I look forward to ongoing relationship.
Absolutely. Now, can you talk to me about any kind of obstacles that might have occurred in getting here and how you guys were able to overcome those?
The amount of teams.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't want this to be an event that's just exclusive to a subset of teams. We want to be able to give all those players the opportunity to play in front of as many college coaches as possible, in front of as many national team scouts as possible, and of course our MLS academies. And for us, that's what this community is about, is creating opportunity. But when we go back to those objectives, we want to develop that top tier talent. Today was MLS Cup. Vancouver Whitecaps played against Inter Miami. There were players on that field that as little as a year ago were playing this event.
Wow.
And now they're sharing the field and playing against Messi, sharing the field with Messi or playing against Messi. There were even more players that 2 years ago were at this event. So you can see that there is that connection.
Mm-hmm.
That aspiration part is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And so the biggest challenge for us is how do we create an event? And I mean, here's the other thing is human capital is important too. Like we don't have the biggest team at MLS Next. We're based in Major League Soccer League office in New York
Mm-hmm.
City. But it's a group that is passionate about growing the game in this country. It is a group that cares and is incredibly thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were planning this event, it was how do we give these families and these players the best possible experience, knowing that some of them will be playing up until 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
Knowing that some of them will have to wake up super early and play at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been able to deliver value with the period of time in between those kickoffs. Because
Amazing.
today we hosted our first ever speaker series. We had first team coaches, so professional coaches
Mm-hmm.
talking to families. We had academy directors. We had former players. Myself as a former player be able to do that. We have a grassroots coaching license. And again, it's because of this facility.
Yeah.
We're able to do all these things. And then the other piece is we had MLS Cup on the big screen on the grass area
Mm-hmm.
where, of course, retail was set up. And there's just so many things that we've been able to do. And it seems like they weren't challenges now because they're being delivered and executed.
Sure.
But during the planning process, we were thinking, how do we do this? But the goal is deliver quality,
Mm-hmm.
deliver value to families because they're coming from Seattle, from Miami, from 2 blocks away
Yeah.
to as far as Maine. And I'm sorry,
Incredible.
Canada as well. And so for them, they're spending their hard-earned money,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to be able to give them the best possible experience. And thus far, fingers crossed, we're in day 3 of 12 days. We've been able to do that because, one, the weather has been incredible, which is a huge piece of it.
Yes.
And so I'll let Mesa take all the credit for that.
We planned it accordingly.
Exactly. But then the quality of the facility with Arizona Athletic Grounds has been top-notch.
It's amazing to hear everything that you're doing. There's more than just games going on. And with that experience that you're creating for families, there's an ebb and flow throughout the whole day. And I'm sure they're not feeling hung up or stuck. And I think it's incredible to think beyond just a game. You have the opportunities for the speaker series, like you were mentioning. And what you guys are doing here is amazing. And I just have to say thank you as a Mesa person that this is amazing that this was considered, planned, and executed. But I do want to just end on kind of a fun note.
Mm-hmm.
Our industry is tourism, and I'm sure you're a gentleman who travels quite a bit. I need to know
Quite
what
a
are
bit.
just maybe a couple times a year,
my
right?
Bonvoy, I'm at the Hyatt. It's like ambassador or something, which sucks because that also means that I'm away from my family. But
Sure.
what's great is my son plays. He'll be here later.
Oh my
He
gosh.
plays for a really, really top team. My daughter just started playing.
I love that.
She's U10. So like the nice thing about it is, one, I feel like I am growing soccer culture in this country.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to see the U.S. men's national team win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Another goal is to see Major League Soccer as the biggest league in the world. And during that pursuit, we want to elevate soccer culture in this country. Major League Soccer is going to be the leader, and MLS Next is going to be a huge piece of that. So at least they think what I do is cool, because when they were younger and I played, they don't really remember that.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
What
there's
kind of
people that
advice are
come
you
up to
giving
them,
them?
and yeah, that's what was so great about today is we had multiple former professionals up there that they're parents now,
Yeah.
and we had hundreds of parents out there, and we got to speak to their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's some of the best things you can do for your kid after the game? Ask them about their experience.
Yeah.
Ask them about the game. Ask them about how they're feeling. Don't give feedback. There's a
Interesting.
time down the road. And we spoke to Greg Vanny, who's also an Arizona native, born and raised in Tempe. Now he's the first team coach for LA Galaxy, won MLS Cup last year. He's a 2-time MLS Cup champion as a coach, played for the national team, played in the World Cup. And he was on the stage today giving advice because he has 3 sons that play right now at a very high level. They all play for LA Galaxy, the academy. And I asked him very penetrating questions. What is it like after a game? And he said, well, there's the part of me that really wants, as the coach, as the former athlete, to pick all the things that they could have done better. But I've learned over time, ask them. It was their experience. It was their game.
Yeah.
And it's their feelings.
Yeah.
Ask them, how do you think that went? And just be supportive, be inquisitive, no feedback.
I love that.
And be encouraging.
Yeah.
Right. And so even the way that played out, I know that I feel tension when I watch my son and daughter play. My wife says that she doesn't like watching a game next to me. I'm quiet, but she can feel how stressed I am.
Sure.
Because I want them to do well.
Yeah, they're your children.
They're my kids. I want them to do.
Expectations,
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. But listening to that, it only reaffirms that the support system and parents are a huge part of the process. And especially after a game, the best thing they can do is ask the child about their experience, be encouraging, be supportive. And if there is some feedback that they want to give, wait 24 hours.
I love that.
Wait 48 hours.
I love that.
Find
really.
the right moment to talk to them. But after the game is not the right moment.
It's their moment to soak in what they need to process.
Absolutely, because
right?
it was their experience.
Yeah. And I personally love that. I have a 3-year-old daughter at home. We just got done with dance, and I grew up playing soccer,
So
not to your level.
My middle child is in dance.
Okay.
She dances 4 to 5 hours every day.
Wow.
She's 11 years old. I don't know how she does it. I was not exposed to dance.
Sure. A girl
Growing
dad.
up.
Yeah.
And what I've seen is incredibly impressive. It's the same sort of emotion and investment that you make, maybe even more so than team sports. So I feel you. You're at the beginning of a long journey.
We just got done with dance. My daughter did 2 months, was like, all right, that was fun. And I'm like, rite of passage, right? Every little girl wants to tutu. And we had her out in the field dribbling a soccer ball. And I've never seen a 3-year-old so coordinated with a soccer ball.
Oh, amazing.
And my heart was so excited. I'm like, we're signing you up for soccer.
Yeah,
So I'm so excited for January 26th.
That's so cool.
She's only 3, so we're not going too crazy, but just to get her on the field and get your parental perspective, I think it's going to help humble my husband and I on how we handle certain situations. Being former athletes, you know, you have that drive and that excitement, but I love the feedback that you have for parents, and I'm personally soaking that in now too.
It's just so important that they have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if they have fun, they'll keep doing it. If they keep doing it, they're going to improve.
Exactly.
Right. And now when we're talking about elite athletes, it's the ones that go beyond practice.
Yes.
They're the ones that, because they love it so much and that aspiration is so strong, they are self-motivated to practice by themselves.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are going to make incredible gains throughout, but they can't get there
No.
if they're not having fun.
Absolutely.
And they can't get there if their parent or their support system is killing the fun for them.
Which I feel like, I mean, as an athlete, we've seen that. I feel like that's more common now. So truly taking that advice to heart for parents and the exposure that you've been able to have in front of these parents to give that advice from the professional athlete to post-professional, I hope that that's resonating with them, truly.
I hope so too.
You know?
I hope so too. I mean, sometimes it really is that simple. Just go get ice cream afterwards.
Yeah.
Ask them about the game.
Yeah. But also the 24 hours, like it sounds silly, but take that into consideration. Right now is not the time. Tomorrow sometime will be though.
Yeah.
But I just want to end with travel. Big Bond Boy guy over here. What are your top 3 travel items?
My top 3 travel is my AirPods for sure.
This is happening to be a popular answer.
Yeah. My AirPods for sure, because then you can do your Zooms and you can listen to music and whatever it is that you need to do, or act busy so the person on the plane next to you doesn't talk to you. But my AirPods for sure. I do travel a lot. So when I'm thinking about my bag, AirPods. I wish I could say a good book, but I just don't read that much. I mean, I'm a workaholic, so I have to have my laptop.
Sure.
And then lastly, It's not something I carry, but I have started picking hotel brands based on the quality of the sleep. And so there's
Interesting.
places I know are going to have a good pillow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know where you were going to go with that.
It's
but
only
that's-
something that I've really started to notice this past year. I think it's because I'm getting older, but like a pillow helps me go to sleep a lot faster. So I'm surprised. I surprised myself with that answer, but
Yeah.
like I could almost go anywhere as long as I have my AirPods and my laptop. But if I'm going to stay the night, and a lot of times I try to do day trips, like even when I came and visited this place, I left at 6 a.m. in Jersey. I showed up at the airport at like 10:30, 11, saw the facility, caught the 4 p.m. flight, and went back to Jersey.
You're a trooper.
I'm away from my family so much that
Sure.
that I want to be home. I hate missing their games, hate missing their games, or their dance recitals.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say those are the 3 things I think of when it comes to travel.
I love it. Well, Luis, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us. I know you are a busy guy, but this is so exciting to have MLS Next in Mesa, and hopefully we're another destination for you guys in the future.
I hope so. Thanks for having us.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Catch us wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
I need somewhere to escape to. Mesa, that's where I feel free, free, free. I'm on the way.